stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Here.
Ms. Salcha? Here. Mr. Lindemann?
Here.
Mr. Ramos?
Here.
Mr. Bray?
Here, item D, board meeting minutes not previously approved of April the 2nd, 2004, the regular meeting. Mr. Lindemann.
I move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
By Ms. Salchow. Any discussion regarding the minutes? Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Salcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Bray?
Yes, item E1, summary of current events. Ms. Samaniego.
Good evening, Mr. President, board members, students, and members of our community and staff. Just a couple announcements. On December 10th, we are partnering with a few community institutions such as Douglas Police Department, Binal Behavioral Health Services, and our own staff. We're having a parent forum or a parent meeting at Douglas High School at 5:30. And our hopes with that is to, from the police department side, is to inform our parents and students about the consequences of making false threats to schools. As you know, in August, we had an array of schools nationwide getting these false threats. So Douglas Police Department is going to be sharing some of that information. We're also going to be talking about some of our own measures at DUSD with safety threat assessments and how we can collaborate with parents, and also what services are in our community for children and for parents that are seeking outside resources in the social, emotional, mental aspect of children. And so we hope that we can provide some information to our families that are requesting and students that need to hear information such as this. So that's on December 10th. We will also have a special board meeting on the 11th at noon to do a public hearing and a budget revision. And I also want to take this opportunity and congratulate Nicole Michel for being, she was submitted or an application, I guess, to Quest Bridge, which is a program which matches students to potential universities. And from there, some applicants get selected, and she was one that got selected, and she'll be receiving a full ride scholarship to Emory University in Atlanta. So congratulations. And she has to commit, so, and be with her sister. So congratulations. And that is all I have for now.
We're going to have to set a agenda item every board meeting to
Yes.
recognize all of the awards you get and recognitions and so on. All right. Any comments, questions regarding that report? Item 1A2, Principal for a Day students. Who's going to do that?
I am. I invited our students that were selected for Principal for a Day. In the last few years, we initiated this program where students would apply at their individual schools to become Principal for a Day. So they actually submitted an application, went through an interview process, and then got hired to be Principal for a Day. And so right the week before Thanksgiving break, the students had an opportunity to shadow their principals, walk into classrooms, talk to teachers and students and staff, come to a meeting here at district office with me. So, and then we ended the week with having lunch at Pizza Hut. So I think it was a very rewarding experience. I think a lot of the questions that came from staff is, how can I get a raise? And so that's what the students reported. So I think I have some of them here today, and I'd like to recognize them, and then we'll see if anyone wants to share what they learned from this experience. I have Ariadne, and I hope I said it right, Rivera Urquijo, and she was an excellent principal at Ferris Elementary. Come on up and get your certificate. She got a badge on that day, a banner. She got an ID, I believe. Ariadne? So here's your certificate. You want to turn over there? And right here. And you can stand right there at the end, right there by, right here. And then I have Jesuseli from Stevenson Elementary, and he shadowed the principal. and he was doing all kinds of calls on the radio, try to get some help. Do I have anybody else in the audience from Principal for a Day? Okay, we have our high school student.
Did you suspend anybody? No?
Lucia, she shadowed Mrs. Rodriguez, Lucia Castro Torres at Douglas High School, and she'll have a lot to share about what teachers want. Congratulations, Lucia.
Congratulations.
Okay, I think those are all the students. Oh, we have one more? Is it Camila? Camila Ruiz from Huber Middle School, and she also realized that as a principal, you need pockets in your coats and things because principals carry a radio, keys, and everything else that you can think of. Alma, can you take a picture of the four of them? And you're all welcome to, if you want, any of you want to share what was a learning experience, and you can go to the podium and share with your governing board what you, yes, go right to it.
I learned that being a principal is definitely not an easy job, and that it takes way more than one person. It takes an entire team. So I got to personally shadow Ms. Fredrickson, Ms. Trinta, and Ms. Rodriguez. So I got to see the behind the scenes, and I was really able to see how everybody works together to make the school as great as it is.
And what did you learn about the type of shoes you need?
Walking shoes.
Walking shoes, definitely. Okay, well, thank you, Lucila.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to share what you learned? No? They're all good? Camila?
I'm so proud of you.
I was able to learn that being a principal is a lot of hard work. It was a really nice experience to see the behind the scenes of what students don't get to see, and how they just think it's just a really easy job, which it's really not. But it was a very rewarding experience. I really recommend it for the next time you guys do it.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Selig? No? Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you. You may sit down. I did tell him that we would hire them now. All right. And we skipped the GEM award, Mr. Vereen.
Okay, do you have anything else on that?
Not on the principal for a day.
Okay, moving on to item 1A3, we have a presentation by DECA.
We have one. We have the superintendent, the GEM award, superintendent's GEM
Oh,
award.
I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, we
Yes,
can't forget
okay.
that one. Yeah.
All right, and so this month's GEM Award goes out to Ms. Donna Seville. And Ms. Donna Seville was nominated by staff at her school, and she has 22 years of exceptional service to Douglas High School, working countless hours with students, both as an educator and coach, a versatile leader. She's head coach for swimming, girls basketball, track and field, and earned multiple Coaches of the Year. And, has excelled as a department chair. So for that, she is being recognized and as the Superintendent's GEM Award. A nice token as your last year. So congratulations. And we selected blue because of your coaching the swim team. So it says, thank you, Donna, for being an extraordinary employee and going the extra mile. So congratulations.
On behalf of the board, taking that a little bit further, I'd like to congratulate you on your retirement. And not only this is significant, but it also attests to all of the other recognitions you've got you've had a stellar career in education, and for that we want to congratulate you. Not only that, but also in your athletic achievements as well. So congratulations, and hope you have a good retirement. Okay, we took those out of order, right? So
Yes. Now we're on DECA.
now we're on DECA. All right, go ahead.
Yes, so we have Ms. Nereida Teran, who is the sponsor of DECA, and has a few students to speak on behalf of their project and what they've done. I think expanding DECA store is maybe something you're gonna mention, so Ms. Teran, welcome.
That's everything. You said it already.
I'm
Good
done.
evening,
You're done.
school board and community. My name's Nereida Teran. I'm the finance teacher at Douglas High School. And here joining me are the officers. We are missing two, maybe? Yes, two. Ariela, Judith, Yanixa, Caro, Adamari, Carlo, and Demian. They have a little presentation to share what these young leaders have experienced so far and what's to come for the rest of the year. Okay?
Okay, so the first conference we attended was the Fall Leadership Conference up in Phoenix on October. And this conference focused on leadership development and preparation for college and careers.
After participating in the workshops, we had the opportunity to attend the Cardinals game, in which they actually won. It was really fun and a great experience.
We have participated in many community events, such as the trunk or treat that was held this year. And then we also donated many school supplies to an event that was at the beginning of the year when we were clearing out our store. And we had little footballs that we gave at the, I believe it was a football senior night this year. And then we're also doing a canned food drive for our members.
Okay, so about the store renovation, they finished a new addition to the store. They have officially removed the flooring and they are in the process of getting the epoxy. Epoxy. And they already painted the store as well. So it's starting to come together and we're really excited.
So our first upcoming event is District, which is in Sierra Vista, January 10th.
After that, we will have our state conference held in Phoenix from February 27th to March 1st.
And our last conference is for the student that qualify in state, which is an international conference in Orlando from April 25th to April 30th.
That is all. Thank you very much for your time.
You got the easy part. Nicole is part of DECA. Okay, so how, Damaris, do you want to speak to a little bit about the DECA? Because this was your project and you came to the board as part of your colleagues or your students, your friends that wanted an expansion, and I don't know if you have anything else to add about the expansion. What that will do as far as learning.
So, along with the expansion, we're also gonna be getting like more hands-on on how to like make purchase orders for the store. So just we know like more about like all the behind the scenes in running a store, and this is really good experience for anyone because it's not something we see a lot, especially at this age. So that will help us like advance our store as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming.
You might as well mention, I mean, the fact that you were very instrumental in getting that renovation done in that DECA store. Your dad did it. Board members, if you recall, Bird Construction donated all of the materials and time and effort. So you want to mention that?
Yeah, so last year I would tell my dad a lot, like, Dad, like, the store, like, we need more space, it's hard to work in there and this and that. And I guess he just, like, heard enough and he's like, okay, well, we could donate some work. And I was like, oh, really? He's like, yeah. So I'm really grateful and thankful for my dad for doing that. And this is something just for the, like, following generations, like, to have this store, like, renovated. but I'm really happy that I was able to. So it came upon me complaining to my dad, and then he's like, okay, we could do something if you want. I'm like, of course I do, but yeah.
We're very appreciative of that donation.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for prodding him, and thank him again, because board members, I forgot what the cost of that was, but we approved that as a district donation. So on behalf of the board, we thank you again for doing that, okay? All right, do you have anything else
No.
on that presentation? You don't have to stay for the rest of the meeting. If you people want to, if you want to leave now,
If
we'll give
students
you.
and parents want to leave at this time, you may. Not you, Nicole.
Thank you.
Much.
Okay, you're right.
Okay, members of the board, governing board reports. Mr. Smith?
I have nothing.
Nothing. Ms. Salchow?
I was able to attend the Christmas parade for the city, and I was really excited to see so many schools represented. And our bands sounded great. I think they might have been a little cold, but they sounded great. And it's just wonderful to see so much activity and community involvement from our schools.
Thank you. Mr. Lindeman?
Nothing.
Mr. Ramos? School activity report from Nicole.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, Superintendent Samaniego, and members of the public. The activity report at Douglas High School and DUSD schools for December is as follows. School highlights. Congratulations to our soccer teams. The Lady Bulldogs were the tournament champions for the Rio Rico Time to Fly Soccer Classic, and the boys soccer took second place. As well as congratulations to Carlos Corona. He was the CTE Student of the Month for the Cochise Technology District. So what's going on at our district? At Douglas High School, winter sports have started, and as presented with the paper that I handed out, on December 5th at 6 p.m., National Honor Society will be hosting their induction ceremony. On December 9th, Douglas High School will be hosting ELD parent meeting. On December 11th, they will be hosting the science showcase from 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. The 45th annual Tim Brown Invitational will be hosted from December 13th through 14th. And on December 19th, the jazz band, mariachi, and wind band winter concert will be held at 7 p.m. At Rayburn Middle School, the school spelling bee will be on Friday, December 6th at 9 a.m. There will also be a PTSO meeting on Thursday, December 12th at 5 p.m. On December 18th, the winter dance on Wednesday, December 18th from 6 to 8 p.m. And at Paul Huber Middle School, the school spelling bee will be held Wednesday, December 11th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. The ELL Parent Engagement Night will be held on December 12th from 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. At Classen, the school spelling bee will be held on Tuesday, December 10th at 8:30 a.m. The winter program will be held on Wednesday, December 18th for grades pre-kinder through second grade at 8:30 a.m. The student council movie night will be on Wednesday, December 18th at 5 p.m. At Stevenson, the school spelling bee will be held on Wednesday, December 4th, and the winter program will be held on December 19th. At Gerald Carlson, their winter festival will take place on December 4th from 4 to 6 p.m. in their MPR, as well as having their winter music program on December 18th. And they will also be hosting their 21st Century After School Programs showcase on December 13th from 4 to 5 p.m. At Ferris, Student Council is having a holiday food drive for their local food pantry this month. And community members from Chiricahua Community Health Center, Cochise College, and the House of Hope will visit classrooms on December 12th for Career Day. Their holiday program will be at 5 p.m. on Wednesday, December 18th for grades kinder through second grade, and Thursday, December 19th for grades third grade to fifth grade. And that concludes my report. Any
Thank
questions?
you very much. Mr. Soto, financial report.
Good evening. Good evening, Mr. President, board members, community. This is the report for the month of November, and this reflects the budget that was adopted at the beginning of the year. And as Mrs. Samaniego mentioned, we're gonna have a budget revision next week, reflecting the enrollment. I don't have specific numbers for that yet, but again, like I said, this is for the month of November. I don't know if you have any questions regarding this. Then I'll have information, of course, later on, not later on today, but for the board meeting, special board meeting on the 11th at noon. That will be the revision. As a clarification, the only information I have for that revision that we're gonna have is that the state hasn't allocated all of the monies that they should have allocated to the district. There's still some monies out there. They're collecting data in terms of a free and reduced lunch, and things like that. So we're gonna have a budget revision for sure, because that's the law. We have to have it by December 15th, but most likely, once they allocate more money or stuff, we're gonna have to do another revision. Typically, we do the one in December always, and then before the end of the school year run in May. But if there's a significant increase in dollars allocated to the district, then we'll have to come back and do another revision. But I'll keep you informed on that. I'm really hoping that that's the case. And we have to have another revision. Any questions?
Just so the board understands, and for them to be thinking about it, we know you don't have any numbers or details, but what are some of the other factors that drive that budget revision, other than enrollment or funds not being withheld at the state level? I think it's important for the
Those
board
are
to understand that, and
two
why you
main-
have to revise the budget.
Again, when there's discrepancies, let's just say when we do a budget proposal, we are using just projected enrollment numbers. Once we start the year, the state starts looking at the enrollment and making calculations about, okay, this is what you should have according to the enrollment we have. So we have to reconcile that and say, oh, by the way, we have more kids or less kids. So unfortunately, in our case, it's the loss of enrollment that we're gonna have to report. And again, when there's outstanding funds that haven't been allocated, we have to do that, to project and have accurate numbers at least by December. The law says that budget revisions need to be reported to by December 15th. And that's why we're having the budget revision meeting before that, so we have time to upload the budget to the state. Like Mr. Brain is saying, is when there's monies still out there waiting to be allocated, if it's significant, the state will require us to do another revision before the end of the school year in May. So those are the two main factors that come into play that we're required to do budget revisions.
Well, thank you so much, so that the board will understand that.
Mhm.
Okay, continue with your report.
That's it, unless you guys have any questions. Again, we're gonna have that special
Members of the board, any questions regarding?
I just wanted to ask, you don't foresee any problems with everything that's going on to getting the funding that we need, or anything that might impair us being funded, what are necessities that are here for the district?
Not for the remainder of this school year. Like I mentioned before, it's an adjustment that we have to do. I do have different options that we can use to make up for that loss of enrollment. There's always a cushion that I have every year because of that exact situation. To finish up this school year, I don't foresee any issues. And like I said before, we're gonna have to start looking at enrollment, especially when we are talking for next school year, in terms of positions, in terms of raises and all of those things that we have to start. Once we have projected numbers for enrollment, that's around February, beginning of March, when we start looking at the projected enrollment and the potential adoption of the budget and the numbers that we're gonna be working with. But for the remaining of this school year, I don't see any issues for coming.
And our grants are also in healthy and good, healthy standing. We just received some carryover. Mrs. Herrera was extremely happy. And so our schools will be able to get their budgets and start ordering some things, you know, from their grants. So I think we're in good shape. Definitely enrollment is a factor that we will certainly look at for next school year.
Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Ramos? Mr. Lindeman, any questions on the budget?
I just had one comment. Looking into the future, I do believe that this is the year the legislature has to reauthorize Prop 123. And so let's all keep our fingers crossed on there. Thank
Yes.
Any response, any reaction to
Yes,
that?
I mean, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of factors, let's just put it that way, in terms of funding federally and state, and in terms of, you know, there's so many things out there, as we know, in terms of what's gonna happen. The Department of Education is gonna disappear, apparently. There's a lot of rumors about that. Is it a good thing, a bad thing? I cannot tell you that. I think the purpose of that, it will be to give the states autonomy and to do whatever, you know, to do with the funds. Like I said, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but there's so many rumors out there that we're looking closely in terms of, okay, what's gonna happen. I don't foresee loss of funding for whatever reason. Cannot, as you well know, we're using a formula from the 1980s. I mean, it cannot get worse than that. I would love to see, you know, something done about that, but unfortunately, a lot of advocates for education in Arizona have tried to increase that formula and per student allocation, but unfortunately, nothing has happened. They're still working on the lawsuit about capital district additional assistance, which is again, it's been a battle for years, and nothing has come out of that. So I mean, there's so many things, and we're just hoping that, you know, our state does something about it.
Anything else, Mr. Lindeman?
No.
Ms. Salchow?
Just with, like you said, these rumors that we hear, and we've heard them for months, a year or more. If those did come to fruition, that would affect our CTE programs,
Everything.
not just
All the
Title
grants.
I,
All
but
the grants.
some of our big programs that bring in instructional money to our school district.
Correct.
Mr. Smith, anything on the budget?
No.
We're gonna get the sad news about the enrollment and in a minute from Mrs. Cox, but just want to hitchhike a little bit more on that. That's the reason you rightfully mentioned the enrollment, and then of course you'll follow up. What about the status of the bond? Where are you as far as that process is concerned? What level are you at?
We're still on the level of getting together. Like I mentioned in the past board meeting, election just passed, and there was a lot of, you know, districts that struggled, passed, didn't pass. I mean, it's been all over the place. The company they're working with, Stifel, they're working with those districts and in terms of the results and what they're gonna do, blah, blah, blah. I already contacted them, and they're just asking me for a few time, you know, to deal with that, so we can just focus on what Douglas Unified will be doing in terms of the bond. So again, I'm hoping that starting in January, then we'll start with that conversation fully about the strategy that we're gonna have to follow.
But,
for
but
that.
your interaction with them is constant.
Correct.
And we don't want any of the bond attorneys or any law firms that represented any of those districts that failed. I don't know who you're working with, but they were significant.
Yes.
That didn't make it.
Yeah.
The other thing, don't want to get into the ESA program because this morning, anybody that follows that, like I do religiously, knows that that there was a couple that were claiming 48 students on that program. And so far over $110,000
Correct.
reported for fictitious or ghost students that didn't exist because of the lack of controls in the Department of
Right.
Education. But ultimately, and this is not a political statement, it goes to the governor for not having put more pressure on the legislature last year in threatening to veto or whatever.
Right.
So that thing is gonna be ongoing. There's gonna be always some type of negative news regarding that program until something's done about it. So that's the end of the bond, and just want to ensure that that's ongoing. We need that new gymnasium, we need it bad, and I really personally believe that the community will go for it. I really believe that.
One more thing in addition to that, we're gonna have to start looking at we have the need to replace those bleachers at the football field. We had somebody came down from the trust to look at it. I'm still waiting on the final report, but there's some issues that, nothing big, nothing to be worried about at this point, but says definitely you guys need to start looking at potentially replacing those bleachers.
And I
that'll be
think,
part of the bond probably.
I think for proper notification to the board, because you did do that, is that I think you've got so far a bill of good health on them, right?
Right.
Right? That's so important. Those bleachers have been there forever. And then, of
Right.
course, the bleachers in the gymnasium hopefully will be gone with the new gymnasium, right? All right.
Hopefully.
All right, members of the board, anything else regarding any of those topics or anything regarding the budget or anything financial? Mr. Ramos, did you have another statement you want? All right, let's move on to, did you have anything you
No.
wanted to add to that?
No.
Let's move on to personnel.
So, good afternoon. So, of course, my news is not very good. Enrollment, our total enrollment for the month of November was 3,603. But our ADM, and we spoke a lot about ADM last year, so that's the average daily membership, and we are at 3,396, which is why Mr. Soto has to do a budget revision. So that's as of November. For the month of November, we had 17 new registrations and 16 withdrawals. So 4 of those kids went online. 6 of them were consecutive unexcused absences. 1 went to Pep Tech, 4 moved out of Douglas, and 1 is homeschooled. So that accounts for the total of the 16 withdrawals we had in the month.
Did you want to add anything regarding that?
What I will add is that because of the loss of enrollment, our classroom size is healthy. I think for a lot of teachers, having that lower class size is a positive, note for them. Some classrooms, I think the highest would be maybe 28, in some cases 29, but there's on average 19, 20, 15 in some cases. And so for a teacher who's especially working in the K-3, that is, it works in their best interest as an educator. But in speaking to other colleagues in other schools, even in Douglas, this seems to be the modality right now. You lose 10, you enroll 11. You lose 5, you enroll 6. And that has been, a give and take. And for schools in Tucson or in the Valley who have more competition, they're losing a lot to the ESSA empowerment grant. So,
Okay, members of the board, wrapping up any part of that conversation,
I
Mr.
just
Hall.
wanted to ask, you know, with our enrollment, is there anything we do to try and get more kids, any advertising, anything that would help enrollment, help parents to make a decision where a child, especially for high school?
so in January, we are going to bring I'm gonna bring as a recommendation to pay a stipend to one of our high school teachers, our media arts teacher, who's going to create a video campaign for DUSD. And so she's gonna do this off of her school hours, and hopefully get that. I spoke to Mr. Brain about this, and media or marketing companies are very, very expensive. I mean, in the thousands of dollars. And so school districts, I've seen a couple up in the valley, they're doing kind of like commercials about their schools. And spending thousands of dollars. And so, you know, we gotta look at that. Do we invest in a company and try to, you know, market when we know our community and we know the job opportunities here? At this point, I think I'm gonna invest in our staff and let her work with her techniques and her strategies and her, you know, expertise in that field and try to do a marketing video for DUSD. On top of that, then I will be reaching out to our, there's a KGUN Channel 4. They also do some marketing or, you know, infomercials and things like that that we can input. But in looking, you know, whether that will help, just looking in general at our community and looking at what other schools are losing and gaining, I don't think it's going to make a world of a difference until we start maybe more job opportunities for some of our families. And so now with the border expansion, the port of entry, then I'm attending the ribbon cutting or ceremony tomorrow. So hopefully that in the next few years will attract some more families to move down to Douglas. But that's what we're gonna be doing.
And that was the reason that I was asking for that, because of the new port of entry. Hopefully, we'll be able to attract the families, especially Keene, and in a small town like this, it's a lot easier to keep track of your kids, where they are and so forth, you know, and to approach with all those ideas, you know. That's why I was asking.
If I may say, what we are finding is that many of our students who have left are now returning. So a lot of those new enrollments are kids who are re-enrolling in our district. So that's what we are finding.
I just want to mention that also that when the Border Patrol station was built, we all said, well, that's 300 employees there that are gonna be here in Douglas. But the majority, 2/3 of them live in Sierra Vista. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is what we want, is to see how many we can bring in.
Thank you.
No, thank you for going after that.
Any other additions to that report or anything else? Administration, anything else?
If I may, we are finishing up our evaluations, or all teacher evaluations have been completed. And so we're looking through all of that data.
Okay, thank you. All right, members of the board, want to wrap it up? Anything else regarding any of those reports? Anybody call to the public?
Yes, sir.
Number 2, consent agenda items, approval of the following consent agenda items. Number 1, payroll and expense vouchers, A, B, C. Mr. Lindeman.
I move to approve the consent agenda items.
Is there a second?
Second.
By Mr. Smith. Questions regarding the payroll? Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Alcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Brain?
Yes, item 3, discussion action on the approval of certified hires. Ms. Samaniego.
As presented, all you have are emergency substitute teachers.
Mr. Lindeman.
Move to approve the certified hires.
Is there a second?
Second.
By Ms. Salchow. Any discussion regarding any of those? Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Salcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Burry?
Yes, item B, discussion action on the approval of classified hires. Ms. Samaniego.
We have ESS instructional aide and a substitute food service worker being recommended, so as presented.
Entertain a motion to approve.
Move to approve the classified hires as listed.
Is there a second?
Second.
By Ms. Salchow. Discussion, members of the
I'm
board?
not sure if Alexa
Go ahead.
is present. Oh, she's here. I just wanted to see if she was here so we could welcome her.
Well, have her come up.
Yes. Just come up to the podium and
You have to do it or you don't get hired. You have to come up.
okay. Your name and what school and
My name is Alexa Samaripa. I'm a student at Coaches College. I'm studying early childhood education, and that's it.
Oh, okay, great.
Joe
Good having
Carlson.
you. Nice to have you.
Thank you.
welcome. Okay.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Salcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Burry?
Yes, Mr. Lindemann, do you have a comment?
No, I was just prompting you to roll call.
Oh, okay, very good, thanks, appreciate that. Item C, discussion action on the approval of classified resignations. Ms. Samaniego.
Yep. As presented, we have an IA 21st Century and our IT audiovisual technician.
Mr. Lindemann,
I move to approve the classified resignations.
is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Smith. Discussion, members of the board? Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Salcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Burry?
Yes, item D, discussion information only for certified internal transfer. Ms. Samaniego.
Yes, this is just for information purposes. Andrea Mora is currently our counselor, but I transferred her to the behavior specialist, no change in pay.
Any questions or comments regarding that, members of the board? Is she related to you?
To me? No.
I'm just kidding. Item F, discussion action on the approval of donations received for Douglas Unified School District number
letter
20.
E.
Pardon?
We're on letter E.
Oh, I'm sorry. We just did that, didn't we, the transfer?
We did D.
We did D.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So this is just the approval of a student from Coaches College to do some observations at Douglas High School.
Okay.
Move to approve the internal transfer. Oh, excuse me, the student observer.
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Salchow, discussion? That's the one I was referring to about the Grijalva.
Tampoco.
Go ahead.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Salcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Burry?
Yes, item F, discussion action on the approval of donations received for Douglas Unified School District numbers 27. Ms. Samaniego.
So we have several donations being presented today. We have $1,160 from National FFA to DHS FFA. We have a $250 donation from Southeast Arizona Federal Credit Union to the DHS Cohort 2025. Donation of 10 children's books from Coaches College Community Engagement to the DUSD Migrant Program, estimated value of $136.82. And several donors choose to Ferris 4th grade, Miss Elvina Hughes classroom, Joe Carlson 2nd grade, Mr. Alejandro Morales, Joe Carlson 3rd grade, Miss Claudia Perez, in different amounts, and then donation of a $500 gift card for school supplies from APS Supply My Class to Mrs. Paulette Salazar's classroom at Joe Carlson 5th grade. And the last donation of $3,695 from the Knights of Columbus to the DHS baseball program.
Okay, let's get a motion on the
I
floor.
move to approve the donations.
Is there a second?
Second.
By Ms. Salchow. Discussion, members of the board? Under donation of 10 children's books from, just for clarification, from Cochise College Community Engagement, that is from the college itself? That's Mr.
Yes.
Villarreal's program?
As the dean of
Okay, so
students,
that's coming.
Dean, yeah, he's the dean at the Coaches College, but it's coming from the Coaches College Community Engagement.
Okay, any further discussion, members of the board? Roll call.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Salcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Ramos?
Yes.
Mr. Burry?
Yes, item G, discussion action pursuant to policy BGF to temporarily suspend policy BGB requiring 2 readings of the proposed policies prior to approval of the adoption in order to approve the following policy advisories immediately upon the first reading. Mr. Lindeman.
I move to approve the policy advisories.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith. Ms. Samaniego.
Just as presented, these are coming directly from ASBA, very minor changes if you read the policy changes underlined, and so there's not much change to the existing policies.
Members of the board, any questions?
I just want to clarify also that the policies that we have, and then this advisory is to update the statutory language. So it's actually not changing the policies.
It's updating.
Yeah.
Any further discussion, members of the board? Ms. Alche, your question?
No, I don't.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Ms. Alcha.
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann.
Yes.
Mr. Ramos.
Yes.
Mr. Barine.
Yes, item H, discussion action on the approval of appointing a board subcommittee to review and consider the district criteria and policy FF, naming facilities, in regards to Mr. Frank Adams. And before we get into any discussion, I just want to make it clear to the board that the board is not considering by anybody other than Mr. Frank Adams, by virtue of the fact that we did have this on an agenda item. We approve it, then we submit it to the committee that will be appointed. Ms. Samaniego will be the chair. Will be ex officio. Ms. Salchow will represent the board, if you would. Ms. Salchow is ex officio. And they will only consider one name, and that's that of Frank Adams. That's why the language is the way it was and the way we will approve it, to consider the name Frank Adams. Because what could happen is that other people that feel that they're worthy or that other people are worthy will come to the subcommittee meetings, and we don't want them to get distracted from what the main charge is. And the main charge is, because of the board directive, is to consider Mr. Frank Adams, okay? So I want to make that perfectly clear. All right, want to entertain a motion to approve that. Excuse me, I want to name the individuals that will serve on that committee other than ex officio Ms. Samaniego and ex officio Ms. Salchow. That will be Kelly Glenn, will be the chair of the committee. Donnie Kimball will be a member. Frank Molina, XF ag teacher, will be on the committee, and Ms. Vicky Merritt. All right, so board members, I'll entertain a motion to approve that.
I move to approve that.
Is there a second?
Second.
By Mr. Smith. Discussion. Members of the board? Members of the administration?
No.
So we know perfectly what the charge is, what the committee will be. They will be provided with a lot of information. They'll be provided with a lot of historical information, biographical, school documents and records, and anything else that would lend itself to the consideration and/or, if they feel it appropriate, recommendation to the board. Okay? Roll call.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Ms. Alcha.
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann.
Yes.
Mr. Ramos.
Yes.
Mr. Barine.
Yes, item 4, information items. A, announcement, Ms. Samaniego.
We have the end of the quarter slowly approaching on December the 20th, and that's early release in the last day of the quarter, taking us through the winter break. Schools will be closed for 2 weeks and resuming January the 7th, 6th, okay? And our annual organization meeting is on January the 7th.
What day, first of all, we have the budget revision on the 11th. On the 11th. And then we're going to have the board organization on
The 7th?
the 7th. And then the regular meeting in January will be
14th.
the 14th?
The following Tuesday, yeah.
Okay, the 14th.
Yes, the 14th.
Got that, members of the board? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
By Mr. Smith. All those in favor? Signify by saying aye.
Aye.